Okay, so I'm having a lot of profound realizations in terms of art and the way that I make it, and my obsession with trilogies and triplets. Okay, anyways, first I want to take note of my origins. The very first time I started making music, I made 3 EPs. Cringy, On TV, and Lullably. That was completely unintentional, but the next series of EPs actually did have the intention of going up numerically. The inspiration for the next few EPs was going to be the major arcana of tarot fame. There was no one particular reason for me to end that numbered EP series the way that I did in the place that I did, other than the fact that I felt that my writing was starting to stagnate, and I felt as if I had already pretty much said everything that I wanted to say. The next numbered EP, 4, would have been based on the Emperor, which would have already contained themes covered by the Empress. The one after that, the Hierophant, would have contained themes already covered by 1, the Magician, and 6, the Lovers. Girl, that's already covered by 2 and 3 as a combined force. The High Priestess and the Empress already cover themes of the choices that we make and living with the consequences. I also liked the way that I ended 3. It felt as if I was mystically closing a certain cycle. What is that cycle? Good question, but we can consider it closed. Right, so on to the next thing. In my formative years of music education, I remember learning that there were 3 purposes for music: a recreational purpose, a ceremonial purpose, and an artistically expressive purpose. This can be best summarized essentially as if there were 3 spheres, which I'm going to list out of order. Popular music, or pop music, is to be consumed by the masses. It's mass appeal. Folk music is generated by a community. It is the communal music. And then art music is essentially the artistic techniques of high society expressed in musical form. I vividly remember being exposed to this idea by a YouTuber called Sideways, but scrolling through his content of only 58 videos, I cannot find that damn video anywhere. I had the original core idea for that kind of trilogy when I originally saw that idea. Those 3 interpretations of music would be really interesting cores of different albums. So, dear viewer, you might be thinking, well, why hasn't Gabe Muhammad written any music in that kind of direction? Buddy, I can give you a fucking hint. The only thing that really frustrates me about Jacob Collier specifically is the fact that he gets to really good ideas first, and then he absolutely bastardizes them and millennializes them. Like with Super Ultra Hyper Mega Meta Lydian. Okay, so fractal scales? You're talking about fractalizing scales? No, Super Ultra Hyper Mega Meta Lydian. Bitch, shut the fuck. Super Ultra Hyper Mega Meta fucking ACDC, suck my dick and balls. I have vibrating rose toy. What really frustrates me about Jesse as an experience is the fact that Jacob Collier is so obsessed with the quadrilogy concept that it feels as if Jesse Volume 4 is simply forced to be a summative experience of the 3 previous albums. But the entire cumulative statement of Jesse Volume 4 is simply, here's all the stuff I have access to and all the stuff I can do, instead of, here's why music exists. Which was the point of the original 3. One would have thought that it was the... now that I'm done shitting on Jacob Collier, it's time for me to be a total hypocrite and talk about my next trilogical obsession. The 3 stages can be used as the backdrop of a single character's journey through the lateral world of music. In the first album, a total social climber who uses pop music for their own gain is dejected from the pop world, which leads us to the second album, the folk album, where he learns how to collaborate with others. In the third album, he understands what common language means. We see the science of music not as these limiting beliefs or concepts that are imposed down onto us from up high, where there's this authority of music that tells us what's right and wrong. But with the experiences of the first album and the second album, we learn how to communicate with each other, how to truly connect. And if we were to have a 4th album, that would be the focus. Instead of this big bombastic conclusion, a supposed 4th album would end with an organ simply running out of air. Rather than having these music albums laterally connected through the size of acoustic space, they become narratively connected through the growth of a certain character. First, we learn how to sit. Then we learn how to crawl. Then we learn how to stand on our 2 legs, walk, and look up to the stars. I need to take a shit, but I'm constipated. And so I take a piss, and then I find everywhere. I need to take a shit, I'm constipated. So then I find it there. Oh my god, that actually kinda hurts.